It's time to install the Enjuku Racing White Bunny clutch kit. So, car's in the garage. I really don't know what I'm doing. I've kind of just done my basic, research here and there, but I think I'll be able to figure it out. First things first, with this White Bunny clutch, I got the White Bunny clutch kit that I got through Enjuku. It also came with the ARP flywheel bolts and also a rear main seal, because I'm noticing that I'm leaking from where the transmission bolts up to the engine. So I'm assuming it's my rear main. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing first is just getting the car up in the air, draining the transmission fluids, and draining the oil so nothing starts, leaking out of the rear main when, we pull up. Plus the car needs an oil change, so I thought might as well. But yeah, that's step one, so let's get into it. My pops here is helping me out. Shout out him. We've got the transmission fluid pretty much almost drained. As you can see, there's a little stream just coming. Oil's draining right now as well. Once that's pretty much done, we're just gonna throw the bolts on right quick. We're not gonna swap the fluid just yet. But next step is we're gonna just remove the exhaust from the cap back so we can drop the drive shaft. That shouldn't be too hard. Just 14s right here to where it bolts up to the differential. 17s and 18s for the center support bearing and where it attaches to the gibo to the back of the transmission. And then we should be able to pull it out. And then from there, it's pretty much just hitting the bolts around the bell housing, taking off a couple things that are attached to the chassis from the transmission, and hopefully we should be able to pull it out. So it doesn't entirely seem like we need to remove the exhaust to get the drive shaft out. So that's pretty nice because it'll, save us some time, save us some labor. So pretty much what I'm doing right now is I'm just unbolting the drive shaft from the back of the diff. I need to go back up to the cabin and take the car out of gear, spin the drive shaft, put it in gear, take it off just so it doesn't spin while I'm trying to loosen these bolts. So what my pops has been taking care of here while I've been working with the drive shaft is he's just disconnecting all the electrical that goes from the harness to the transmission, just so nothing is snagged off when we drop it. Just a quick little correction. I actually don't think I need to unbolt anything here because I believe the spline just goes in right about there. So now I'm gonna hop into the interior, pull off my center column, and unbolt the shifter. So I guess he's getting started on the transmission already. Pops is moving fast with it, but we also have to remove the starter. So starter, all the electrical has been disconnected except the vacuum hose up top that we can't quite get to. So while my Pops is killing it down here on the bell housing and possibly the starter, because man moves quick, I'm literally just finishing the shifter up here. I'm gonna just use some snap ring pliers because of the snap ring. Gotta just clench them together. I'll show you guys that right now and we can pull everything out. Yeah, like a pro, baby, like a pro. Snap ring is out. That's fantastic. Honestly, since I really don't know what I'm doing, I thought this would be since I know what I'm doing and I'm a professional, I thought this would be taking a lot longer. But who knows? We're just getting into it. But I think the progress so far has been pretty good. Pops has really been killing it, helping me out, so I'm happy about that. All right, cool. And we're out. Now I'm just going to just dry this up a little bit so it doesn't drip anywhere in the car, because the interior kind of nice. And I'm gonna just stuff this in there so nothing falls in. And our shifter is out. We got the whole driveway. It's filled with cars. For those of you that know me, you know about this. For those of you that don't know me, Ouch. Ouch. But it didn't always look like that. Just struggling a little bit with some stubborn bolts, but you know how it is.
I wonder if you can get it from the top and turn it. From up here?
A little bit. It's like, I need a step stool. Man, God didn't clutch it in the...
You get a step stool?
Yeah, let me get a step stool right quick. We also didn't disconnect our battery.
Yeah.
And we saw a big flash of light. So first things first, disconnect your battery.
There. I heard that. You heard that? That was, you broke torque.
So pretty much 2 more bolts on the top of the back of the engine that we're having a little bit of difficulty with. We just got one of them broken loose, so that's fantastic. After this, it's one that's in an even tighter spot, so I don't know how that's gonna go, but we're moving through it. We're moving through it.
Nice. Let me have it.
All right, one more to go. Let's do this. All right, we miraculously were able to break loose the last bolt, and literally my index and my middle finger are like the only 2 things touching it. Loosening it right now. Oh. Yes. Ah, okay, cool. Oh, fantastic. So now that that's done, which I'm actually pretty happy about, just removing the drive shaft now. It's only being held on by the center support bearing by 1 bolt. So we're just gonna take that off right quick, pull it out, and then, yeah, honestly at that point we just unbolt the transmission mounts, pry away the transmission from the engine, and she'll be out. Drive shaft's out. Now for the transmission. Transmission's out. Oh, it was a bit of a challenge, but it's gonna be an even bigger challenge getting it in. I have no idea how the hell we're gonna do that.
What comes down must go up.
Yeah, but
No, wait a minute. What goes down? No, what goes up must come down.
something like that.
Hold on. Tilt it first. Now, you don't want to break anything.
Transmission, baby! Let's go. So the transmission is out. It's a bit of a challenge. I already popped off the throwout bearing. Look at that finger. That's how you know you have a hole in your glove. Wow. But throwout bearing wasn't looking terrible, but you know, we got a new one in the clutch kit, so I'm gonna throw that in. Let me just show you guys the underside of the car right quick. Fantastic. So we got a pressure plate. Behind that, I believe it's the flywheel. Oh no, pressure plate, clutch, then flywheel. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I know exactly what I'm doing. We're professionals, clearly. But we're just gonna unbolt this. I see about 6 or 8 bolts. Take off the ones following after that, and then just replace everything. All right, real quick, I just want to show you guys what comes in this White Bunny clutch kit by Enjuku Racing. So real quick, we just have some hardware. I'm pretty sure this is for the pressure plate. Flywheel bolts by ARP, so that's pretty cool. It actually came with a new throwout bearing and pilot with an alignment tool, which I guess I should have read up on because it says it in the ad. But I did not know about that, so that was pretty cool. I almost bought a new one. Just random magazines, advertisement stuff. Came with a new rear main seal, which I thought was really cool because mine, I'm pretty sure, is leaking. So that's really convenient to have all of this packaged together. And then back to the good stuff. We have our pressure plate, looking real good. Just set that down right there. Packaging. Here we have the clutch itself. They have a 6-puck option, and we have this full face disc option. I didn't want to go with the 6-puck. I mean, nothing's really gonna be that crazy with this car just yet. So I thought I would just, you know, keep it simple for now. And lastly, our flywheel. So let's get to removing all the stuff that we have on the car right now and getting all the stuff that we need to put on. So while I'm under the car, unbolting all of the clutch assembly right now. My dad's gonna be pressing out this little cup from the throttle bearing so we can get the new one pressed on. All right, so these bolts are 12 mil right here. So, yeah. Well, golly. So we got our clutch. I have no idea what a good or bad clutch is supposed to look like. So, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this looks like a clutch that needs to be replaced. It's a lot of burn marks on this. Once again, don't know what they mean, but it's off. Hey, Appa! This pressure plate was made in Mexico! Hell yeah. And now, for our flywheel, I'm assuming these things are gonna be on pretty tight. Yeah, I saw that. Oh yeah, that's a bad rear main, no doubt. Our next job from right here, before I go to assembling everything, I'm gonna pull this dust cover off real quick. So, as you can see, we have a lot of crud buildup. So what I'm gonna do now is I am going to unbolt the oil pan, not completely, but this is why we drain the oil as well, and you know, figured I'd be doing the oil change. I'm gonna unbolt it from these two holes right here at the bottom, and then I'm gonna be addressing all of these around this rear main seal casing. I guess that's what you can call it. So we'll pull that off. We'll pull out. It'll come out with the gasket and everything. And so pretty much what I'm gonna do after that is clean all of this up, because this is just nasty. Clean it up. Put the new, obviously the new rear main seal in, and lay down some gasket RTV for this new casing, because, well, we're going to be cleaning it up. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, we got it out. Now, I'm gonna clean off the old gasket, gonna clean this up, lay down the new gasket, put this on, put the new rear main in, and then the clutch assembly. All right, some time has passed, about an hour or so or whatnot. Cleaned up around where the rear main seal cover plate or whatnot. Cleaned up around that area, around the oil pan, the bottom part at least. Laid down some gasket and snugged up the bolts. In about another half hour or so, I'm going to fully torque them down or tighten them up. I don't really think they have a specific torque setting, so you know what you know what I mean. And yeah, let me just show you what that looks like right now. So as you can see right here, we have the rear main seal cover on. I laid down some new gasket, just letting that settle up right now before we tighten everything. And the new rear main seal is in. So just waiting for that to dry up a little bit. I put on some 90-minute gasket maker. Then I'm gonna tighten everything down, throw on the flywheel, clutch, and the pressure plate, and then that'll probably be all for today, since I am running out of time, but I'll be continuing this the following day. Alrighty, back we are underneath the car. I tightened down all the bolts. Unfortunately, I did tighten this one down a little too tight and it snapped. So you know what? And so I'm kind of just gonna leave it like that. I just threw in some gasket maker. I'm hoping that, you know, that's not gonna bring any leaks or anything, but hopefully, you know, it should be fine. We still have all the other bolts right now, and it's not a 240 if the job isn't done at least a little bit jank. So we have to get rid of this alignment pin right here. It's just some brass, so I'm gonna see if we can pull it out or break it off. Oh yeah, literally the whole pin, like literally just came off. All right, there we go. It went in a little bit, so looks like we'll be fine. Let's start feeding these through. Feed these through and snug them down, and then we will torque them down in a sequence, which is pretty much, you know, top, bottom, like a star. All right, so real quick, just to save us some time, we're gonna just try to jam a little thing right here, flathead, into the flywheel gears in hopes of that kind of just...
How much torque does it be?
Right here, I have it, it said somewhere between 105 and 122 foot-pounds. I have mine at 115. And there we go. So now, real quick, I'm just gonna clean up the surface of the flywheel with some brake clean, just so we have a clean surface for when we throw on the clutch. With this clutch kit, it came with a new pilot bushing. I didn't know where that was necessarily, so I didn't know how to address it. But now that I found out, it's actually this little brass insert that goes into that 6-bolt, you know, hub where the rear main went around, and we need to get that out and press in our new one. So real quick, I saw a little tutorial on how to get this pilot bushing out. So today we're going to be using some bread. What we're going to do here is we're just going to stuff all this bread in here in little increments just to fill up the chamber behind the pilot bushing. And once it's full, we're just going to, you know, press it in and hammer it with a bolt that I've got right here that fits the inner circumference of the pilot bushing. And we'll be using the like the force of it being pushed in, filling up the volume inside, and it'll be hopefully what we're hoping for to push out this brass insert. So let's give it a go. So as you can see here, this brass insert is coming out. Though that now that it's coming out, there's now more volume inside, so we're gonna have to stuff some more bread, hammer it, and then that should be enough to fully get it out. All right, just filled up some more bread. So now back to whacking. Oh, it's out. Cool. And that's a quick little way that honestly that took only maybe about 5 minutes, and our old bushing is out and time to press in the new one. And obviously pull out the bread because you don't want to have bread in there. So luckily for us, this bolt with the thread and all that came with its own nut too. So I'm just gonna put the pilot bushing over it like that and pretty much kind of use the same hammering technique to hit it in. So we're gonna start lightly at first to make sure it goes in. Yeah, it's going in. Fantastic. And then we're just gonna solid mount. It's flushed up against, and now you guys have your new pilot bushing in. This is where the alignment tool is going to come in handy. The plastic splines fit into the metal splines. Use the back end to fit into the pilot bushing, and you can just hold it there. It's going to be a little loose, but it's all right. Don't worry about that just yet. As you guys can see, there are 3 different pins right here, and it makes it so the pressure plate can go on only one specific way. So if it doesn't fit on one way, try the other way. It also fits into, these holes are for your bolts. I don't know what these holes are for. So the next small hole, that's for the to help guide the pins in. So we'll try one way, not this way. So now we're gonna rotate it another some. Not that way either.
Something to pin in it.
There we go, fantastic. So the pins are in. Now we're gonna start feeding through our bolts. I lost one of my Allen key bolts, so I wanted O'Reilly's to go pick up this same thread pitch, same size hex bolt one. So just one of them is a little off. And now we're gonna snug these down evenly, and then we'll just torque them down. Something I didn't show you guys, it's pretty self-explanatory, it's very simple, is the clutch fork and the pilot bearing, or not the pilot bearing, the throwout bearing. I don't even know what it's called. I'm so caught up with the pilot stuff. But yeah, so this assembly, it was very simple. I just pulled it off and everything disassembled itself. This little coupler thing on the back right here was pressed in. So all we did was, we got like a socket and we just hammered it out and used a socket again to hammer it into the new throwout bearing. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to add some grease to the mounting spot over here for the bearing around this little pivot ball for the fork. And we're just going to assemble it and have it all back together. So applied some grease to the back over there. Applied some grease right over here to this little ball, pivot ball, whatnot. And also right in there where the pivot ball goes. So real quick, I'm going to assemble the fork and throwout bearing for you guys. There's these two little spring clips, retaining clips or whatnot. I don't really know how to explain it, so I'll just show you guys how that's supposed to go in. And then with the throwout bearing, it also is supposed to go like this. So this just, pops off. It's like a little C-clip almost. You just push it in with these little prongs pointing upwards so it could slide onto the fork. So now we're just going to assemble this. Just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to put the back end of the fork in the hole right here, turn the throwout bearing a little bit, it's going to flex, it's all right, and just slide it on. And then as you press everything, and you'll hear a snap. Okay, that spring is in. The throwout bearing, and yeah, there we go, cool. And now when you push on the backside over here, everything works as it should. Don't be like me, guys. Don't forget your dust cover. Just had to take off the pressure plate, clutch, and flywheel just to put that dust cover back on. Now, back to where we left off. Alrighty, guys. Got the transmission up, as you saw. Just secured all of our bolts all around the bell housing, so fantastic. We already got all the plugs and connectors attached and secured. So yeah, things have been going real smooth today, so I'm happy about that, despite me forgetting my dust cover and having to restart almost. But yeah, just gonna put up the transmission cross member, put on the drive shaft, and wow, that's it, huh? Crazy. And then yeah, just a quick little update. Drive shaft is back on. Cross member for the transmission's back on. That's fantastic. Just gotta put back on my sway bar. That's just something that I just did myself. You guys don't have to worry about that. And put oil in the car, gear oil in the transmission, and we are good to go. So I'm gonna start just putting some engine oil back in the car while my dad's trying to break the filler cap for the transmission so we can get some gear oil in there. But yeah, just in the final stages. All right, guys. Well, the transmission is back in the car, and I'm not parting it out. So, successful job. You know, I'm not that typical 240 owner. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was helpful to anybody who might be taking on the same or similar challenge in a different vehicle. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to see you guys next time. But remember, if you like the video, make sure to like, comment it if you want. You know, subscribe if you're feeling it. You know. And I'll see you guys next time.